I have to say my introductions first. Almost forgot. Gamers and Dragons. Today I'm going to do a tier list for how it feels to play in gold and in metal ranks. Okay, this is not all this, the heroes overall. It's just how strong they feel and playing with them and against them in the metal ranks. Also, it's just to give you a different perspective. I do feel strongly, right? Look, even some of the lower popular, like the lower skilled popular streamers, the really popular ones, even they aren't like, playing in gold and platinum. So I just wanted to give you this perspective from playing at this rank. And I've played probably almost 30, 40, 50, probably between 30 and 40 games already this season. So, all right, let's get into it. Diva's A. I think the tanks are all going to be ranked high. The reason I think Diva's A is because it's her mobility. Like, you don't position yourself right, and like, she gives you, similar to Hog, she gives you like a false sense of when you're safe or not. You're like, oh, I got distance, and then suddenly she will just dive on you, and then lower elo people might not peel for you, so she'll just dive and you're dead. All right, Doom. This one's no, actually, I think he's B. B is gonna be like, if the thing is that gold, you think it's a skill level, but it's not. The truth is, gold is variable skill levels, like gold and platinum, because that's where it dumps a lot of new players. That's where a lot of people with their alts are and stuff like that, and they play a couple games. Doom's in the middle because if you get a really good Doom, he's pretty strong right now. And if you get a bad Doom, you can't win the game. So he's like right in the middle. Junker Queen, down here. I'm sorry, Junker Queen is trash or gold. Remember, I'm saying at the metal ranks. I feel like playing her takes a little bit more coordination, and she's a little bit more mechanically heavy, than some other heroes at the tank position. So I think she's really hard to play. So at this elo, her presence in the front is not as strong, and you need somebody to stand in the front normally to win at this elo. He's just A. You know what I mean? He's A because normally he might be here or whatever, but people are just gonna play what they want to play. You know what I mean? And I'm guessing in higher ranks, they're the support is just gonna turn into Ana Kiriko, right? Here he's just like, he's not gonna get countered that much. I almost feel like he's B because of the diva. But yeah, he's really hard to kill, and a tank that's just hard to kill without any teamwork or focus is probably pretty strong. Orisa got nerfed recently. Oh man, this is rough. I'm gonna put her here. Ramatra, his ult is so good, but lately I don't know why it hasn't felt as effective. So I'm gonna put Ramatra in C right now. I feel like he has a really interesting kit that is not that intuitive to use, and the timings of like when to switch your stance and shields, I feel like he's in the C. Reinhardt, his simplicity means that you have to be good at everything else. You have to be good in your positioning. You have to be good in your awareness. If you're in Orion Mirror, you have to be more than sometimes some of these other heroes because you can't do anything about their ults. But in Orion Mirror, you have to be tracking the other Orion's ult. Your shield usage, walking up, positioning, when to swing, when not to swing. I think even though his kit's simple, his decision making is very, very difficult, especially in the average rank. I feel like he's harder to play at lower elo, and a lot of times Orion just stands in the front for no reason and just depletes his shields and then dies, and then he gets slept, antied, and game over. Hog, between Malga and Hog, I'm not sure who's better. I played a really good Hog earlier, and I'm trying not to be biased because I feel like he's just like those hooks. No one respects the hook space. I think he's here, man. I know that sounds crazy, but I think if you could land hooks as Hog and now it's easier, people would just get hooked left and right, you know, me included. I mess up, I don't know, I feel like, and like he just doesn't die. And the other thing again is that people don't counter, you know, all the time. Sometimes they will, and sometimes they don't, but it's not like guaranteed. A higher elo, they understand the matchup, they're like, all right, we gotta play this. But here, no. And remember that not always, like I'm seeing this like maybe 60% of the time, maybe less, I don't know, maybe 50. Sometimes you'll play and the tanks will counter each other, and sometimes you'll play and there's no counter play at all. You just one bad matchup tank into the other, and that's it. It's really interesting, and I feel like making a tier list at gold is probably harder, because like I said, like it's so volatile that the skill in a match, it's not as leveled out as maybe high up or lower down, or like lower down in bronze everybody is kind of bad, they're all kind of leveled in bronze, other than Smurfs obviously, whatever. But in a high elo, they're kind of like not as leveled out, but they, you know, they're still level. You don't start, you know, in Grandmaster, you get what I'm saying? So you still had to get there, but the fact that people start in gold and plat, it makes it crazy. All right, Sigma is B. Obviously he's very strong hero considering all the ranks. Some of these tanks are just a little bit more, not, I don't want to use the word brain dead, but they're a little bit more simple with what you think about, and once you use things are a little bit more obvious. But the time, it's just like Reinhardt, like the timings and maintaining your cooldowns and watching them, and conserving your shields and all that for the right time. I feel like that's something that's a little lost in the metal ranks. You know, keep, you know, when to use your rock, all that. He's just strong. His kit's just strong, so it just makes up for it. So he's like right in the middle. Winston is C. He's a very hard hero to play. He's strong, but he's hard to play. And at metal ranks, I don't think people understand how to play Winston. The ones that do a little bit, those are the times that you win with him, or when he's just like a counter. Sometimes that works, but like the coordination of playing with Winston, it doesn't happen that much in the metal ranks. So I'm gonna put him at C. Ball here. And the reason that I'll put him at C is because Ball, even playing him bad, everybody else doesn't have coordination. Like just disrupting and confusing the team, even if Ball's not that effective at what he does, like the player is not, because it takes a lot of skill to play Ball. It does. And there's a lot of CC and stuff. So Ball's power to disrupt the team, you know, at metal is very strong. But at this point, people understand how to use the CC a little bit against Ball. But if there's no CC and there's no counter, Ball's just really strong. But like I said, he's really hard to play correctly. So I'll put him at C. I think the fact that he easily just disrupts the team and ruins all their coordination, and tilts people, and people don't know what to do, I feel like that brings him up from D to C. Zarya. I think Zarya is S in metal ranks, and the simple reason is you're just gonna get charged. Some of the team won't shoot you, but the other team will. Knowing when to burn her down, she could take you out quickly. We'll keep her A. Widow is B. Like I said, she's B almost like the same reason Doomfist is B. She's either up here or down here at the C though. You're not gonna find a lot of in-betweens. You either have someone that actually knows how to play Widow, and at this elo, if someone can actually hit their shots and knows how to play Widow, just destroys the whole match. Or she can't hit a shot and she gets kills after the team fights. Like, it's just really ineffective. So I'm gonna put her right in the middle. And a C because the healing's a lot harder. It takes mechanical skill. So does the sleeps. The nades, they're easier to hit, but sometimes, you know, a lot of times her biggest strength is, you know, to use her nades against tanks that are really vulnerable, like Maga and Hog. Sometimes at this elo, they're not really concerned about, they're just playing, you know. Sometimes they do, like I said, like this is just, we're like the majority of the time. There's always the exceptions, like because gold is volatile in the metal ranks, but I feel like she's here. I think he's B. I don't, his immortality doesn't feel as strong as it used to. Just the way where people are playing. Maybe B or A. Let me place a few more up and then I'll take one look at it at the end and make adjustments. A. Even if they don't play her right, A. Yeah, I think she's A. She's way better than BAP, I think. I think she's A. She takes care of a lot of the dive easily. Sometimes when your tank is not aggressive enough, she'll take the space. Sometimes no matter how you're playing her, she just does enough. She's definitely A. I don't know. I feel like she's here. The mechanical skill involved when someone has it, then she's really strong, but they don't always have it, and then they're just kind of like heal balding, and if they don't use the pylon that well, I feel like compared to like the other supports, I think she's just strong because her kit's strong. Even if like since the kunais don't do as much as they used to, that's less part of her game plan. But just her ult's really good, and the cleanse is so good, and the teleport out, things that let you get away with bad positioning at this elo kind of end up being really strong. You know, like Sombra could throw herself out, Reaper gets out, anything that like, you know, Diva, things that get you out of bad positioning are just way stronger, because it's not even about diving in and getting out right, you know. It's just like a lot of times you'll be in a bad position and then you could get out, you know. That's why Venture, they have it, you know. I think Life Weaver's B. At this elo, you need to do damage. People aren't maximizing their characters, their heroes. People are not maximizing their heroes. Let me put Mercy up here because I feel like they're similar. I could even put like Mercy down here. Her damage is, yeah, I'm gonna put Mercy here. I'm gonna put him here because his pull, like we were mentioning earlier, taking you out of bad positions. Like, I don't know how many times I've saved the tank that's in a bad position, and that might have saved our team fight. But heal botting, I feel, is a little less effective at this elo. Lucio, he's in the middle. I could almost put him at A, but yeah, I'm gonna put it at B because a lot of people don't know how to play him. I think Zenyatta's an S. And the reason why I think Zen is S, Discord is strong, and in this elo, shooting tanks is what people tend to do, shooting tanks a lot. But a lot of times, winning the tank matchup is a big deal, and that Discord orb does a lot. And he just does a lot of damage. The way he plays is very simple. He doesn't have a lot of movement. He just looks at somebody, puts an orb, and just keeps trying to shoot whoever he sees and discording the tank. And it's so simple. And because it's so simple and strong, it just works very well in gold. And in the metal ranks, Moira. I'm going to put Moira in S with a question mark. Okay, I've been doing a Moira challenge. I've played 30 games so far. Started in gold 3. I'm still in gold 3. I made it to gold 2, and I'm back at gold 3. It's her ability to get out of bad positions again makes her strong, like we've been mentioning in this tier list. If the other, you know, in certain duels where the way she loses is because the other person has good mechanical ability, that doesn't happen as much in metal ranks. She gets kills and she can be very aggressive, and she can almost play like a dive character depending on what's going on. I've been playing a lot, you know, we'll call it Healy, touchy Healy, and I don't know if that's working that great. Also, Samito said she's OP, so I'm gonna put her up here. I haven't played my 100 games. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. I see why she feels strong sometimes, and it's that she's just super hard to kill. I had games, you know, I had one game where I didn't get killed at all, and I contributed so much. At least that's what the stat says. So I see that she's strong, but like her ult doesn't always turn the fight. You know, Junkrat's ult will turn the fight. You know, even Diva Bomb will turn. Like, she doesn't have like these fight turning abilities. So if you're super outclassed, her, you know, if your team is super, like there's a super diff between both teams, like the matchmaker just messed up, she can't bring it back. But she could stay alive, and she has like a lot of sustain, and she'll definitely win her duels versus people that don't respect her. So I'm just gonna put her here for now. Yeah, let me take one last look at it. When you have everybody up here, tank wise is the one that I'm the least confident in, because I feel like Maga could be S. Like, see, these heroes that are strong, but you have to know how to play, I have to drop them down, you know? I have to drop them down. Doomfist at gold, if they actually know how to play Doomfist, like actually know how to play Doomfist, like, oh man, it's a world of hurt, right? But some Doomfists don't know what they're doing, they just feed and they never get out. And that's very common in the metal ranks. So these heroes that are just easier, like there's look at S, they're just so straightforward, right? There's nothing super complex about them, right? So getting the most value out of them, the skill floor is just easy, and then they're strong by themselves, and getting, you know, getting the most out of it is not that complicated. So that's probably how they end up here. And then as you come down, they're either weak or more complex, right? Like Monkey's really strong, but like playing him is very difficult. And the same thing with Reinhardt.